opportunity. So I would like to bring everybody up to date on something that we're doing at the NIH, and now I'll tell you about the outside people doing something similar, trying to increase awareness about the importance of aging research for all sorts of diseases or chronic diseases. So we started at the NIH about 8 months ago. We started something we call it's a gig, it's the Geroscience interest group. So I'll tell you a little bit about the arguments that are brought to convince the institute directors within the NIH that this was a good idea to follow. So what's the rationale that I bring up? First of all, and these are, I'm going to make 3 statements that address Alzheimer's disease. And I will say that they fell a little short. We can't wait to address the risk factor for most chronic diseases, not just Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is just one of them, but we have to address them all. So, just as an example, more than half of the people in this room will die of cardiovascular disease. I'm sorry to say, but that's the way it is. So what are the major risk factors of cardiovascular disease? If you go to NHLBI website, you will find that, and your doctor will tell you the same thing. What is the major risk factor? Cholesterol, right? So what is the real risk of cholesterol? Well, it gives you a 3-fold increase in your risk of developing cardiovascular disease, which is quite serious. It's a lot of increased risk. What's the second major risk factor that the NHLBI lists? It's obesity. That one, going from a BMI of 21 to 29, it gives you a 3.6-fold increase. How about aging? And this data is taken, believe it or not, from the NHLBI side, where they do not list aging as a risk factor. It's just not there. It's not a risk factor for them. Okay? So what is it? Going from 45 to 85, you get a 7-fold increase in risk if you're a male, and a 16-fold if you're a female. Not because you get more, but because you start low, by the way. But nevertheless, what is the major risk factor here? It's not cholesterol, it's not obesity, it's aging. They don't even list it. And that's the point that I try to convince them. That will explain no what we make no sense. They are not manipulate aging. But the bottom line, yes, we can. We can manipulate by dietary restriction, as shown in the top. We have many genetic manipulations that affect aging and health span. And we even have a lot of non-genetic manipulations. Like in there I showed rapamycin and resveratrol as 2 examples, but as we have been hearing about, there's a lot of others coming up. Most important than that is that health span is also improved. And I'm not going to show data because that's not the point of this talk, it's not to show data. But we all know that health span is improved when we increase lifespan. So, how does that relate to diseases? These are many of the things that we deal with at the Division of Aging Biology at the NIA. We deal with ROS, with things that we have been talking about here, with protein aggregation, free radicals, cell senescence, etc. And I would argue that all of those get together into a phenotype that is aging, which is an increase in frailty and a reduction in resilience. And it's that is actually at the center, at the core of all the age-related diseases. So yes, cardiovascular disease has other risk factors, cholesterol, etc., but aging is at the core of it. And the bottom line is that we need to break this let's make war on disease X type of approach. That worked for diseases in the past, but it's not going to work for cancer, for cardiovascular disease, for arthritis, for all of the diseases of aging, which are more complex than that. And as I recently heard Geroscience say, is that the single disease model may have already run its course. it's not working for the diseases that bother us now. So we need a new model. And for that reason, what we did was created this Trans-NIH Geroscience interest group. The website is down there. It's not closed to people outside of the NIH. Anybody can join this group, and there's a lot of people already joining. And so this is something that we started about 8 months ago. What is it that we're trying to do? Basically, I'm trying to convince the other institutes that indeed aging is at the core of all their diseases. So it's at the core of all the institutes of the NIH. These are not all the institutes of the NIH, by the way, these are 20 institutes out of 27. All these 20 that are there have joined the Geroscience interest group at the specific request of their directors. Okay? So that's the amount of support that we're getting within the NIH for this initiative. So what is it that we're trying to do? The goal is quite simple. We just want to increase awareness of the role of aging biology on the diseases that the NIH deals with. So we want to just exchange ideas about these issues. We have seminars, we have meetings and things like that. But of course we want also some more tangible results. As I mentioned, the executive committee has members from 20 institutes and centers. And what we're doing, we're primarily doing meetings to discuss and to plan for the future, actually. The main activities that we have been doing so far are seminars, for example. We have a seminar coming up in July that's going to be given by Francis Collins, the director of the NIH, who's going to talk to the group about his research on progeria. We had already talks by Jim Kirkland, and we have others prepared. Other than that, we're preparing workshops and other brainstorming activities. The first one coming up in September will be the role of inflammation on age-related diseases. So trying to get people from the other disease camps, if you wish, all together to discuss what aging has to offer to what they are trying to do. And we have a few other things. I'm not going to go into details, a few other activities that we're trying to do. So for a group that has formed only 8 months ago, I think we are being quite successful, and we're looking forward to a lot of activities in the future. Now, this is the internal effort that we're doing within the NIH. As you know, there's a separation. I cannot do things outside. I cannot lobby Congress or something like that. So Dan Perry, the director of the Alliance for Aging Research, will finish this talk by telling you what's the outside game, what other people are doing in support of aging research.